This lecture is about inference questions in the TOEFL exam. The main reason why test takers often select the wrong answer for inference and fact questions is because they were not able to find the paraphrased information in the passage about what the question was asking about. In such cases, the point is to find what specific sentence in the passage did the sentence target to ask about. Inference questions are questions you have to infer based on the passage. So you have to answer inference questions based on facts in the passage, just like fact questions. There are three main reasons to why test takers select the wrong answer to inference questions. The first reason is because they did not know the meaning of a specific word or did not know TOEFL vocabulary words at all. The second reason is because they were not able to find the sentence that the question targeted. This means that they were looking at a completely different part of the passage and not where the question intended. The third reason is because after understanding the passage, they tend to solve the problem based on their assumption. Assuming the answer of a question based on your background knowledge is no different from writing a fiction novel. Information that was not given in the passage must be considered incorrect even if you think it's a fact. Inference questions look like the following. The range of what the question asks about may vary from a specific piece of information to the entire paragraph, or even in some cases the entire passage. And the most common type of inference questions is the one that asks what can be inferred from the passage about. Answer choices in most cases include ambiguous numbers such as few, most, and almost, or include absolute terms such as never, no, or always. To select the correct answer, you have to know what the question wants you to solve. In other words, you have to know the point of the question. Questions that want you to find the correct answer choice that expresses a different order of time would take the before in the passage and express it as after, and the past in the passage to now. For example, if the passage read, however, before the 1990s, A used to be a common event, you would be able to infer that after the 1990s, A became a rare event, and vice versa. Those that express comparatives differently would take from the passage A is more than B and make it B is less than A. The most common type are those that make you select choices with negative words that are expressed differently. If the passage read, unlike A, B was smart, you would have to be able to infer that A was not smart. Determiners are also often expressed as negative words. Only adults are allowed in the passage would be put as no children are allowed. As such, words like all, only, and always can be expressed as negative words in an answer choice. An incorrect choice type to point out here is semi-negative words or ambiguous terms being expressed differently. Cases like this may be very confusing, so it's crucial to know if the meaning of the words match the passage or not to avoid selecting the wrong answer. Here are types of semi-negative words being expressed differently. Although they may seem similar, you must be able to tell that they have different meanings. Inference questions can also ask questions where you have to combine scattered information to solve the problem. And it can take specific ideas of the passage and generalize them in the correct answer choice as well. For example, if the passage reads, he goes to work at 9 a.m. every day, the choice would generalize this information as he is an office worker. Remembering these points when solving an inference question will help you select the correct answer. The solution method for inference questions is quite simple. First, understand the passage and the answer choices. Second, identify keywords, as in the important points in the answer choices. Keywords are usually nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Then, find the sentence or sentences that contain the points of the passage. The sentences may contain all the points or only a few, but it should be the most similar part of the passage. And finally, determine if the answer you've chosen can be inferred according to the passage and the question points we discussed earlier. If you understood the passage fully, you'll be able to quickly figure out easy incorrect answer choices without going through all these steps. So to save your precious time, try to understand the passage before solving the question. Here's a sample question we'll be solving together, but first, pause the video and solve the problem. According to the paragraph, what can be inferred about the era of the Roaring Twenties? Let's start with A. Unlike working on farms, working on factories enabled the workers to receive a paycheck. You can tell that the word unlike was used, which means there's a possibility that the negative word is expressed differently in the passage. Now let's look at the keywords of A. The keywords are factories enabled, workers, receive, paycheck. The sentence in the passage that matches the keywords is, "And the West saw a large number of career changes, especially in farmers who left farms to work in factories on a regular paycheck." As expected, the negative word in the choice was expressed differently in the passage. The answer choice stated that unlike working on farms, working on factories enabled the workers to receive a paycheck. Since farmers left farms to work in factories on a regular paycheck, you can infer that unlike working on farms, working on factories enabled the workers to receive a paycheck, and the answer to this question is A. Now let's look at the incorrect answer choices. Except for jazz, new forms of music failed to gain popularity during the Roaring Twenties. The keywords are new music, failed, popularity. The passage states that the most popular music style was jazz, but it did not provide us any clue to prove that new forms of music failed to gain popularity. B is an incorrect answer choice. The introduction of cheap cinema had more significance than the introduction of new genres. The keywords of C are cinema, significance, music genres. The passage reads, "Due to the cheap cinema, many young people watched movies for leisure and started looking up to movie stars and celebrities." The 1920s introduced unique styles of music to the mainstream culture. The most popular music style among the youth was jazz. It became so popular that the Roaring Twenties is also referred to as the Jazz Age. The fact that the cheap cinema allowed young people to watch movies for leisure and that young people started looking up to movie stars and celebrities is all that was mentioned about the movies in the passage. The rest was about jazz, which was discussed in the previous answer choice, but we cannot infer from the passage that the introduction of cheap cinema was more significant than the introduction of new music genres. Hence, C is an incorrect answer choice. Lastly, D reads, "Young people were the first to adapt to the cultural changes in society." If you were to solve this question using your background knowledge, there is a high possibility that you would have selected D. But if you look at the passage, the part where young people are mentioned only talks about how they watched movies for leisure and started looking up to movie stars and celebrities. Even though young people went to the movies often and looked up to celebrities, there isn't enough information to say that they were the first to adapt to the cultural changes in society. D is also an incorrect answer choice. Here's the next question. Pause the video and solve the problem. What can be inferred from the paragraph about the concept of rationality introduced by the philosophers? Let's start with A. It aided in the discovery of math and science in the past. The keywords are aided, math, science. The most similar sentence is the following. Fueling the revolutionary development of math and science is similar to aided in the discovery of math and science. But the passage clearly states that the life full of inquiry fueled the development of math and science. Rationality did not aid the discovery of math and science. A is an incorrect answer choice. It relieves people from the need to question their life. Relieves question, life are the keywords. It's the same sentence as A. The virtue centered on the life full of inquiry inspired a number of other great figures. You can tell that life full of inquiry was paraphrased in the choice to questioning life, and the keyword relieves was not mentioned in the passage. There is no clue to prove that rationality relieves people from the need to question their life. Therefore, B is an incorrect answer choice. C is, it prevents people from observing the truth. The main idea of the entire paragraph was rationality, and the passage reads, they all believed that rationality was what enabled people to arrive at careful observation, only through which the truth in their belief could be discerned. If you knew what the passage was about, you would have been able to tell that C is an incorrect answer choice. Rationality obviously does not prevent people from observing the truth. C is an incorrect answer choice. The last answer choice was, it is impossible to recognize the truth without rationality. The keywords are recognize, truth, rationality. The sentences that contain the most similar idea are the following. These three philosophers searched for the same answer, the truth. They all believed that rationality was what enabled people to arrive at careful observation, only through which the truth in their belief could be discerned. Discern in the passage was paraphrased to recognize. The passage stated that three philosophers searched the truth, and they all believed that rationality was what enabled people to arrive at careful observation, only through which the truth in their belief could be discerned. Only through which, meaning that it is impossible to recognize the truth without rationality. D is the correct answer to the question. This is the last question. Pause the video and solve the problem. According to the paragraph, which of the following can be inferred about the generate and test method? Let's begin with the answer choice A. The sequence in which the two models work is not always efficient. The points of A can be found in the fourth sentence. The passage states that both of the models working simultaneously is time efficient and is used more prevalently. To infer that the sequence in which the two models work is not always efficient, there needs to be at least one negative fact about this sequence, but there isn't any. Therefore, the fact that it is not always efficient cannot be inferred, and A is an incorrect answer choice. It is necessary for both of the models to work in order to solve the problem. Necessary, an absolute term, appeared in answer choice B. The sentence that includes the keywords is, one method is a generate and test method where two models work in order to solve the problem. The previous sentence stated that an AI machine uses different methods to solve a problem given to it. So those of you who thought that B was an incorrect answer choice most likely thought it was because one of the many methods is where two models work, which means it isn't always necessary for both models to work in order to solve the problem. However, the question was, what can be inferred about the generate and test method? There are different methods, but one of them is the generate and test method, and this method is where two models work in order to solve the problem. Hence, B can be inferred, and the answer to this question is B. C is simple. It is one of the most prevalently used problem-solving methods. The order working may vary, either or a method used more prevalently. The keywords match, but this sentence is not talking about the problem-solving method. It's talking about the order working during the generate and test method. A method used more prevalently is also referring to an order working, not a problem-solving method. Thus, C cannot be inferred. D is, the number of solutions found by a program can indicate its efficiency. The passage states that one of the orders of working is efficient and that the action may prolong until all solutions are found, or until the solutions it needs are found, or one satisfactory solution is found. It cannot be inferred from the provided information that the number of solutions can indicate its efficiency. Therefore, D is an incorrect answer choice. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you for watching.